Okay, we're up to the second part of Suitable for Hanging, the 1998 DeQueen High School senior play. We've already been through the first major scene up until the first curtain draw, which we're at right now, and this is a small time when I can sit here and talk about a couple things. If you notice the very bottom of the curtain, you can see the feet scuffling around. We talked about that last time, by the way. And once again, there are times when you might see a dark bar go across the top of the screen, and that is because of the guerrilla style way I'm filming this. I have it mounted on a tripod at my television. And by the way, I know, Kim, you're listening to this, and I know you're counting every time I say and see, there's another one for you, but I know you're out there. So, and the curtain opens. Once again, I'm sorry that you're not hearing any auto track. There's that black bar, but it will get better soon. The audio track, I can't basically hear it because I do believe that this is still under copyright laws. And so there, me and Brandon busily working as our two German scientists. Oh, the bar went away, good. And here is Drew, and it came back. Drew playing our lead, Charlie Hackle, talking to his wonderful fiancée, Abby. Now, you're going to ask me, and I know you're going to ask me this, if you weren't in the actual play, if you saw it, if you didn't get a chance to see it or whatever, you're going to ask me this question because it's another one of those questions I get asked all the time. When it comes to this play, everybody wants to know what's in the beaker and what do we keep drinking. And it's like, I believe maybe kiwi strawberry Kool-Aid. When they decided that the formula was going to be green, I think Miss Tedder and Kim went out and bought like every package in town because we drank gallons of it. And it's funny because I'm not sure if the flask that we're drinking out of, well, we drink out of the glasses, but the flask has it in it. That's where we pour it from. I'm really not sure if that was ever... I'm probably sure it was cleaned, but I'm not sure how many chemicals we ingested. It's a miracle we all don't have mono to this day because we would just drink out of the bottle. And yeah, it was bad. But not bad stuff when you have to drink it like 6 times in one afternoon. It goes down pretty easy. Brandon's actually wearing a nice lab coat. Drew's wearing a decent lab jacket. And I'm wearing a surgical gown that's actually supposed to be my lab coat, but it works out. He's tall, short coat. I'm short, long coat. The doctors have this strange thing about where every time they get on screen they have to do some kind of sing-song stuff, and this really helped because where I had done stuff before, Brandon hadn't done stuff in a long time when it came to memorization other than school. And so he had problems with his lines, and I had problems with my lines too, but we learned that most of these little sing-songy things like we're doing now with the success and the hand motions and stuff, if we learned what each other's words were going to be, then we seemed to learn each other's lines. And so our pentameter sets up, and all of a sudden, I know my lines because I just heard what he said, and so on, which is normal line memorization anyway. But... and we do go a little overboard. There are times when we go for the big handshake, yeah, right here, and together they'll rise to accept the Nobel Prize. And then, of course, the successes right here are success, handshake success, and then the fame, I guess, success, I'm not sure. The problem with these characters in my mind is a lot of kids didn't get the jokes. A lot of older people got the jokes. The kids didn't get the jokes because the jokes were too old. The jokes were funny in probably 67. And I'm not trying to date the play or anything for anybody, but seriously, I think most of the jokes that the doctors had, there were funny ones. I mean, everybody laughs at guinea hogs. And they laugh at, come into our parlor. I mean, we be needing you, Everybody gets those, and when we walk around looking for the foreign spies in the room, me and Kim were watching this the other day, and it kind of gave me an epiphany. I always had a problem that the doctor's characters keep repeating the secret formula over and over again, And so it becomes this thing where, like, to this day, I know GE 4 square 50PQ2. I could write it in my sleep. But I always thought it was so you could remember it easier. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, if it's such a secret project and they're not supposed to be telling everybody, why do they talk about it constantly with everybody they see? And I think it's supposed to be a running gag, basically, that it's so secret of a project that, you know, these guys are sneaking around at this point. They don't want to talk about it, even though, you know, they're on stage. And, but yet they say it every 5 seconds. I guess a good, a suitable for hanging drinking game. There you go. Every time GE 4 square 50PQ2 gets said, take a drink. Of course, there's 3 glasses, and he's going to ask me about why there's 3 glasses, and because we're going to just swindle Drew into drinking some of this nasty truth serum. I always thought it was hilarious that apparently that the most secret thing that the U.S. can be working on and that will change the world forever is truth serum. They call that a lot of things where I grew up. Like tequila. But anyway. So here comes Drew. Probably one of the nicest guys to ever be on stage with. He knows his lines, he knows who he's supposed to be, he knows who you're supposed to be, he knows how to react. I have a lot of shoe polish in my hair, actually, because I look like I'm a reject from like a 78 vampire movie, but so does Brandon too. That's why we got that gray thing going on there. We try to put a little physical comedy. He hits me in the chin with his shoulder. If there's anything we can do to get another laugh, because the jokes were so sour. So we're going to get him to drink the formula because we think we're congratulating ourselves for finishing it, and he's getting married the day after this, and we get him to suck down the formula because we're not going to drink, of course, because this is, that's what we're trying to do. So I try to hide it all, of course. His reaction there, where it's like he just took a big drink of whiskey, is probably one of my favorites. He kind of shakes it off and does the whole like rubbing his eyes thing. So now we have our guinea hog, as he likes to say. And so basically, this right here, this is one of my favorite parts of the entire play, and that's because they get so choked up in their success, they're gonna drink a toast, and so, of course, what do? They grab the first glasses they can, and they gulp it down. And then, my mug here, when we figure out what we've done, and we've added 2 more guinea hogs. Now, the next thing I tell you about this scene that most people talk about is the fact that we talk for a minute, and then we kind of split. He goes and puts on his hat and gets ready to go, and I start cleaning up. And basically, it said in the script, it said clean up until Brandon's character gets back, but don't ever look at him because he's supposed to go get shaving cream, spray me in the face. Well, there's only so much stuff on that table that I can put up or move around or dust off, and so in rehearsal, I would put things in the box, and then I would get other things, put those things in the box, and then finally he would take so much time getting his hat on right and everything that I would crawl underneath the table, and I would pick lint out of the floor, act like I was dusting off the you know what I'm saying, and I kept doing it, and it was timing. That's the only reason it's there. And then, of course, it's always too much shaving cream when it comes to this part. Just supposed to go on my face. He put it all down in my collar and everything. And then the side effects, he's blind as a bat. Good times, good jokes. And that's going to be that. That's going to be part 2 of Suitable for Hanging. And so I'll be putting out part 3 here pretty soon. If part 3 isn't done in the next 12 to 14 hours, don't worry, it will be. So you'll be seeing it up, and tune back in for part 3.